Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I literally just received my new 12 Pro Max iPhone. I just did an unboxing. I'll do something formal in a little while. I actually recorded a bunch of stuff, but I'm actually in the process right now of actually setting up the phone. And this is my first time actually using this. iOS has a built-in migrator. So as soon as I fired up my phone, my current phone, which is this one right here, this is a 10s Max that I've had for the last couple of years, detected my new phone, asked me to put in a passcode, and now it's currently, I don't know if you can see that here because it's, there you go. Anyway, it's doing a software update right now to iOS 14.2. And now it's saying waiting for the software update to complete. So it's going to migrate some stuff over. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's going to do photos and the like. I'm assuming at this point that most of my iCloud stuff, like my passcodes, messages, all that usual stuff is going to transfer over pretty easily. What I don't know is, are all the, I would assume all the apps are going to go on there too, but how much data is actually going to get transferred, I really don't know. I do normally use an app called AnyTrans to help me migrate data between phones. So that is actually going to be my backup solution if this thing doesn't actually work. So anyways, having said that, I'm going to give you guys a very quick overview of what I've actually done to this phone. Two things. I've actually put a clear case on it, which is this thing here. I got this on Amazon, protective case phone. It was pretty cheap, less than $10 for this thing. It's a clear case. I normally run cases on my phones because I just like to protect them, but I like the clear ones because it just makes sure that that I don't get scratched. So now I'm just signing into the new phone here, and it's actually saying reconnecting to my current phone so that it can finish up the setup process. We'll let that go for a little bit. So anyways, I got a clear case on that. I know a lot of people like to rock. No, we're not doing a drop test, Franklin. You can do that with your own phone if you'd like. I'm not doing that. Right, so I normally run a clear case on my phone just to protect it. And for the first time ever, I actually applied a tempered screen protector. This is very similar to the one I actually have in my Model 3, which is fantastic. It keeps the fingerprints down. In this case, it's actually more to protect the screen because I've seen a lot of people with the new 12 Pro have been complaining that they get minor little scratches, despite the fact that this is supposed to be a very tough glass. I just don't want any scratches. So this is really quite interesting, and I cover it in the formal video, but I'll show you guys what this involves. This little kit sells for 12 bucks, maybe something like that, pretty cheap. And it comes with 3 tempered screen protectors. In the video, you'll see that the first one failed, mainly because I ended up getting a little piece of lint under there that I couldn't get out. Second one was perfect. What's really interesting is that they give you this plastic template, and you put the screen protector here in the bottom, and there's a little sticker here on top. And this fits over the phone just perfectly so that you can't screw up the installation process. This is truly awesome. So highly recommended. Look for that video shortly. I'm going to try and edit that and get that out today as fast as possible. So I'm just going to put this back in here. Let's just check and see what the phone is doing here. So I'm not saying hello. Doing the Face ID thing. Very nice. Now it says preparing to transfer. And my phone right now says finish on new iPhone. Keep this phone near you while your information is being transferred. So again, I'm curious to see what kind of data is being transferred. I'm just going to put this away. You guys have any questions? Shoot them away. Yes, it's 256 gigabytes. I normally go for mid-range phones. 128 is too small. 512, I would never use. Actually, my current phone, which is the 10s Max. I got to get these names. God, Apple and their naming. Anyways, 10s Max I've had for the last 2 years. It's a 256. I've only used half of the storage. Recently, I just signed up for some iCloud storage for the family so that my wife and I can do message backups. We're running into a bit of a clash there where we just didn't have enough storage in our iCloud account. So I took care of that. So anything that's really big, I'll probably offload to iCloud for now. He is doing the video. So Franklin says that makes the install still much easier. Amazing it took so long to change. Yeah, I don't know why it took Apple that long. Again, this is my first time using it, so I really don't know how well it's going to go and how much and what's actually going to get transferred. That's why I use an app called AnyTrans, ANYTRANS. You can Google that. And I've used that a number of times, and that works very well. The fact that they have something built into iOS is encouraging, though, but I don't know. One other thing that's interesting, the phone has Lightning still. Why? I don't know. They should go USB-C. Anyways, the other end of the cable is USB-C. So if you don't have a computer that has USB-C, you're going to end up having to buy some kind of adapter. So even though Apple's no longer including one in the box anymore, you know, you're going to have to get some kind of adapter. So my MacBook Pro here has USB-C on it, so I'm not worried about that. But now I'm going to have to buy some kind of other adapter that's going to plug that in. My wife has an iPad Pro that has a USB-C charger on that, but that's for her iPad, so obviously I can't use that. Sorry, my wife's leaving here, so she's making lots of noise. Actually, I want to show you guys something really interesting. So this is the new 12 Max. This is the largest one that Apple's ever made. It's 6.5 inches. Let me put it up beside the 12 Max Pro. God, this naming is crazy. Anyways, so they're almost identical. I mean, you really have to put them up side by side, the 6.1 inch. So you can see here, it's a little bit taller. Obviously, the camera bump on the back is quite a bit larger than the outgoing model that I have. Screen sizes, to put them up side by side, you'd really have to see the difference. I'm getting older. That's why I like the bigger screens, because I'm on this thing so much that I really enjoy the larger real estate. But here's my other point, right? So this is the 12 Max Pro. Here's the original iPhone. Look how tiny that is. There's something to be said about having something that's a little chocolate bar you can get from one end of the screen and stuff, but my eyesight does not work on these small phones anymore. This is nice. I find myself using Siri for some commands, not quite as much as I'd like to, mainly because out of all the assistants out there, it actually is the worst. I wish Apple would really fix that. They were first out of the gate with assistants, and they've let it languish, but it is what it is. So let's just check and see what this thing is doing here. So it's saying swipe up, transferring data from Monolith. Time remaining about 47 minutes. It's calculating. So now this is what I'm seeing on the screen. So you can see here that it's moving data across, and this is the current phone. That's what it's saying here. That's the migrator. So I'm just going to go and connect and let that go for a little bit. Let's check questions. If you guys have any questions here. Yeah, it was a dumb move for Apple not to make it USB-C. Yeah, you know what? They really need to USB-C everything else. Oh, this is interesting. So now it's saying hold up your phone to the camera. So this is very similar pairing process. If you have an Apple Watch like I do, they've got this little point cloud thing that's going, and then you take your current phone and you just kind of do that. So it takes a picture of the point cloud. And now it's actually transferring information. It's that easy. So we'll let that go for a little bit. Let me go back to the questions. Yes, to get back to your point, USB-C, you need to USB-C everything. The fact that you can actually just plug it in and not have to worry about it very much like Lightning is fantastic. But unfortunately, a lot of us have little power adapters and stuff that are lying around. Anyways, the bottom line, I'm going to go and buy a cheap little 20-watt power adapter. Don't buy the Apple ones. Too much money. Anything works, right? And Carl says maybe no charge port next time. Yeah, you know what? It's pretty obvious. This is the way that Apple is moving, is towards everything wireless and not having any ports at all. So yeah. Oh, speaking of which, if you have a Model 3 and you have a Jetta pad, or you're thinking about one of those charging pads for your Model 3, I have the new Jetta version 3 pad, and it has larger coils and it's way more powerful. My 10S Max, when I throw it on the previous generation one, sometimes it wouldn't charge. It would just kind of move around. You had to be very picky about where you put it. This new one is fantastic. You just drop it on there and it charges fantastically. And it is definitely faster. So if you haven't bought one, definitely go and check them out. They have sales all the time. They have Black Friday stuff going on all the time. So highly recommend that. Since this phone is not much larger than my current one, I don't expect any problems about charging that in the car. So I'll test that out, but I don't expect to have any issues whatsoever. It's minor. Let's see here. series better than Bixby, so maybe not the worst, but close. I have no experience with Bixby. Sorry. I do have some devices here in the house. Actually, I don't have any Alexa stuff, no Amazon stuff. I got some Google stuff that works exceptionally well. So I like the Google one. Works well. How's the screen quality? Good from what I can tell. Right now, it's still transferring, so I can't tell you. But apparently, this one has the highest pixel density of any iPhone they've ever made. So we'll see. It's all good for my eyes. I tend to run the fonts on the screen just a little bit bigger because I need, I'm old now. I need reading glasses, so I tend to bump it up a little bit. Same thing with the watch. That's why I like the bigger screens. I use that. I use my phone so much during the day that having the big screen really helps. I don't mind the fact that I have to do two-finger typing, not being able to reach the screen. It's not that big of a deal. Oh my gosh. I just keep going back to this. This is so, it's not charged right now. It does fire up, but the screen isn't working all that great. But yeah, this is my OG iPhone. It's got some battle scars on it. And you can see it's dented in a couple places. But I think this is a bit of a collector's item. Not too sure. Anyways, kind of fun. My only problem with the iPhones is they're expensive. Yeah. Wasn't happy about that. I'm in Canada, so obviously we have to pay, the U.S. exchange rate, which is very expensive. This phone came in with tax. Are you ready? $1,989. Ouch. Very expensive. But the flip side of that is we run a bit of a household recycling program. So my wife is going to get the XS Max, and her phone, which is an 8 Plus, is going to be sold, and those proceeds will go back, and that'll help offset some of the cost of this phone. So my wife is not a heavy phone user, so for her it's just something to communicate with, so she doesn't need all the Twitter stuff and all the other things. So that's basically how we've been operating since pretty much since day one, that she gets my hand-me-downs. She's perfectly fine with that. I get the latest technology, and that way our phones basically stay in the family for at least 4 years. And that way, most of the stuff doesn't end up in the waste bins of life, so to speak. Yeah. So yeah, she's currently using the iPhone 8 Plus that I had, and then I upgrade every 2 years. So I skipped the iPhone 10, went to the XS. That's what this is. And then I waited 2 years, didn't get the iPhone 11. Now we're onto this. So we'll see how this goes. Really curious to see how good the cameras on this thing are, because that's where all of the magic is really happening. That's one of the reasons I got this one. You see, I was waiting for the iPhone 12 Pro, and I wasn't too sure about the size. So I went to the store and checked it out, and I just found that the 12 Pro was just a tiny bit too small. I'm used to the big phone. I didn't want to go down to a size. I'd rather go up than down. But honestly, I don't want something much bigger than this. But the main thing here is the better cameras. So this one has the dual camera. It's nice. But I'm looking forward to doing more videos on the channel with this one, because the cameras have been getting so darn good. This is my main camera, by the way. I don't know if you guys, one of these days I'm going to do a video and show you my camera gear, because I know you guys get questions about that. That is my EOS R5 with a 1535 f2.8 lens on it. It's heavy. It's super expensive. It's beautiful for cinema like videos that I like to do on my channel, but for quick and dirty stuff, that thing is a pig to pull out and do stuff with. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this phone is actually capable of. Well, I'm not going to sit here for the rest of the stream and wait for this stupid thing to keep going. Position this image in the frame of the other phone. Why is this not working here? All of a sudden, it's just seems to have stopped transferring data. Well, I don't know if this is me not paying attention, or see, it says 42 minutes. It seems to have stalled for some reason. Finish setting up the phone. I did the pairing thing. Am I missing something, guys? I did the pairing thing. Keep this phone near your iPhone while your information is transferred. Oh, it looks like this one might have lost Wi-Fi. Is that right? I don't have the Wi-Fi icon in the corner anymore. What happened? Son of a gun. Yes, lovely. Live troubleshooting. I think that's what happened. It looks like I lost Wi-Fi on this phone, unless it's doing it over cables. I'm just using the cables here for okay, so I'm going to exit the setup. Oh, yes, that's what happened. I lost my Wi-Fi. Lovely. My Wi-Fi has been flaky lately. I don't know why. I'm going to stop the transfer here. Oh, there we go. We're back on the Wi-Fi. That's weird, man. Stop transfer and reset the iPhone. Well, I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to continue with this and see what happens. But it looks like my Wi-Fi dropped out for whatever reason, and the transfer stopped. So, anyways, lovely. I'll keep you guys up to date. Watch my Twitter account for updates, and I'll post the video once I'm done with this thing, and you guys can check it out. Thanks for watching. I know it's a quick one, but anyways, we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.